Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we're closing in on the end of the year, right? We're getting pretty close. We're getting pretty close here. A lot of times I do like to do a lot of end of the year top 10 type stuff. Like I used to only do these really through a lot of January, because January is always very slow in Dokkan. Like way back in the day, like in 2020, 2019, 2018, I would always fill those up. I think Goresh dropped his worst. Yeah, right here. Here we go. Goresh dropped his worst summonable sparkings, and then someone was like, yo, need the Dokkan version. And I was like, all right, well, sure. And funny enough, in one of these Dokkan group chats I'm in, they said, yeah, do it. And I said, all right, sure, let's do it. 2025 has been mostly a good year. When looking at the summonable units to try and do, like, top 10 worst, and we'll do a top 10 best as well, obviously. I was actually pleasantly surprised. Because it's like, I've talked about this a lot. This year is very similar to 2022, is what this year is, right? 2022, where kind of like half of the year, a lot of the units ended up just really not being great. And the other half of the year, it was just all gods, all demons, like just insane across the board. That's a lot of what we do have going on here, where if we look at all of 2025, you know, like if we try and like just like widen the view from like how did the characters do in the meta they were in versus how does the character do across all the fights of the year, right? Like it's like the second half of the year characters are just really what it's about. And that's not always the way Dokkan works, right? Like if you look at 2023, you know, Orange Piccolo, I mean, he was the year before, but you could kind of throw him in there. GT Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, LR Bulma, like, you know, they were, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, like, characters in range, like, you know, between the top 4 until the next anniversary. So this year definitely a little unusual in that. Now, I did want to do, again, top 10 worst summonable units. I was toying with the idea of only allowing one banner unit, because I mean, like, if we're just going strictly by strength level, it would be just like 10 banner units, right? Like the side, like, summonable characters. So, like, I'm referring, like, if we go ahead and take a look at this right here, right? 17 is way too good to use for this analogy. So is Daima Piccolo, so we're not going to do that. I do actually rather like the Vegeta. This works right here. This guy he has a horrible design. It's so bad, right? Because as the first attacker in the turn, and guess what? You need this for him to be effective, but that triggers once he attacks, right? And then he's got that is what the issue was, right? It was this, and then he also gets this when he gets hit, but it's just like it wants him to go in slot 1, and then he could just get absolutely blown away out of slot 1, right? Like we jumped in there with this guy, ran him in slot 1 as we need to, and it was just instant death. Like, he just died instantly in slot 1. It's like, all right, well, so there's literally no point to this character then, right? A lot of banner units throughout the years have been huge misses like this, but I didn't want to fill it up only with banner units. But I mean, I feel like I landed on a list that is pretty solid. And remember, just because a character's on here doesn't necessarily mean they're the worst character of all time or something like that. I would give extra bonus points to Dokkan Fest, right? So, like, if you're bad as a Dokkan Fest, you get extra bonus points of being ass. You definitely get extra bonus points if you're an Anniversary LR and you're ass. You definitely get bonus points for that, right? So, a lot of different stuff like that we could do. I'm using this Dokkan stats site here. Another recent site that's popped up, pretty solid, and I mean, it's got a nice little layout that we could use here. I always like supporting kind of like the community made resources. It's definitely good, right? You know, this is kind of like a Dokkan website rather than, you know, Tier Maker, which is just, you know, for everything. So sure. Okay, so we will start. Yeah, so this is nice because this is just all the characters in release order too, which I have in my head. So we're going to start with Android 18. Android 18, so her presence here, I'm not going to spend much time talking about Android 18, but her design really fucking sucks. Let's look at her at the start of the year content. Dodge canceling everywhere. That's her major weapon. Let's look at her at end of the year content. As the second or third attacker in the turn, she starts dodging. she just has too many weaknesses all over the place. Even with the androids kind of being back, I still think, like, outside of her, hidden potential system dodging or getting some good RNG, what is she ever even gonna do to potentially help the team, right? So I mean, she's just ass. We're gonna get her on there, but I'm not gonna talk about her too much. Next is Wrath Broly. This is maybe a little harsh to Wrath Broly, because if we look at him, the purpose of what he wants to do, he does accomplish. Okay, so like he's designed to be the festival killer, and you literally can. I still haven't done. I should do the run before 11th anniversary starts, but he can solo festival, right? Like we literally, like, if we use items and support memory and stuff, like we could literally just do double Wrath Broly and like go through the entirety of festival basically with just Wrath Broly in slot 1 doing all the damage, right? It could actually be that impressive, that ludicrous. But if we look at his performance in all of the content right now versus all of the other characters that are releasing around him, right? Golden Frieza and Gogeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, the GDCLRs, even Baby, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I feel like Wrath Broly, unfortunately for him, does deserve to be here. A little bit of a bummer. I mean, he's a very pretty unit, right? Really good animations, really good aesthetically, but it does feel as though he deserves to be on this list. Next we go Goku and Frieza right here. Should I? Nah, I'm gonna leave it. I was briefly in my head considering if I maybe want to get Wrath Broly above them. Man, okay, so I think that this Frieza is the worst dog shit. Like, of anniversary characters we've seen, the Frieza side of this character is one of the worst anniversary characters we've ever seen. Like, at this Frieza side, I hate it so much. The design is just not good. This character would have a very interesting design if you could swap with Goku turn 1, because then we'd have a situation where Frieza, right, could be very strong when HP is low, and then Goku would be very strong when HP is high. And if we were able to swap back and forth turn 1, that would be beautiful design. Because it's like Frieza gets all this shit that you're not even going to have, really, probably, very likely, early on in these fights. Now, in the 10th anniversary red zones, for the most part, I mean, it's funny, when the day this guy came out, it was really bad for him, because, like, especially, like one of those main, like, showcase fights I was using was that Beerus fight, and, I mean, this Frieza was just a fish there, right? And then a lot of the other red zone fights came out after this guy, which included kind of, like, the longer ones, right? The ones that are definitely going to, turn 10 and such. In those fights, Goku is I think, very solid. But if we, again, pull it back and examine the entirety of the year, too, this character is unusable in, like, borderline everything, right? Like, I don't, like, even this character against, like, the Red Zone Broly fight right now, which goes a little bit longer, like, why would you ever run this character? Right, Frieza, who could get locked by Wrath Broly and killed very easily. Goku, who will be hitting like a feather at that Broly phase. It's not like Goku is that strong defensively that you could just sit him in slot 1 and be good no matter what. He would get killed too. So this character just does nothing at this point. Not really the biggest fan. The Goku side was definitely very strong in the 10th anniversary red zones. But overall, this character, I don't know. I could get this character on here pretty easily. Next, we actually have that baby GT Trunks. I think that this guy just has such a horrible design, right? Like, he needs to be represented on here. If you swap this to, I don't know, something else, I guess go in slot 3. I mean, locking could still hurt him, but his design, this guy is just bad. He's just ass. I don't even really want to spend more time talking about him. He sucks. He sucks dick. Next, we'll have STR Evolution Blue Vegeta. I feel like I can't, as much as I would love to, like, I can't put, like, Goku and Frieza as worse than him. He just has never really been able to provide very much, right? It's remember there's a lot of characters who individually we could see good rotations from or good turns from or something like that. But I mean, this guy just has nothing, man. He's just doing nothing. He's creating rainbow orbs that, I mean, he himself needs. Not really necessarily helping out like other characters on any teams. He doesn't have support. His defense can be very, very hit or miss. He is incredibly weak to boss mechanics, locking, AoEs, and these things really, really, really would cause this guy to struggle. I am just not super high on him. Like, I don't want to be super, I don't know. You guys get it. You guys get it. It is funny because him not having an active skill, it does come into play, right? Because, I mean, to be fair, I guess he doesn't, like, exactly get defense when he attacks or something like that. But there's a lot of characters where they'll have an active skill, and it could maybe give them at least a little bit of a defensive tool against, like, AoEs or something, right? Like, a lot of characters who would get defense when they attack, but use the active skill, and then they've got it start a turn. But, I mean, Vegeta doesn't have any of that anyway, but I don't know, he just feels like he needs to be here, right? Next, we'll get on to Paikuhan. Man, I'm looking at this again. It's like, damn, Paikuhan probably should be a little bit higher. Now, I guess, like, what if I just said it like this? Tell me how many times, like, tell me about all your Paikuhan runs. Go ahead. Tell me all those runs with Paikuhan where Paikuhan saved the day. Nothing? I don't know that I've ever seen a tweet about this guy after, like, the first couple of days he came out. This is probably the most forgettable, like, major character of all time. Paikuhan. I think he is. I've never seen, like, okay, let's just go deep into 2023 territory, right? 2023 Dokkan. You know, where, I mean, it was a lot of the releases and stuff just, it was like brutal release after brutal release. Like, we look at it in hindsight, and it's like, oh my god, like, Super Buu fucking sucked. Physical Turles wasn't that effective. This guy barely lasted long. Omega was trash, right? We can go in reverse, right? And it's like, Kale ended up kind of being dog shit, right? That's one of the worst these days of all time. This character fucking sucked. Like, it's actually unbelievable how just, like, bad releases in a row, right? Like, in 2023. But here's the thing. All these fuckers have fans. Like there's an STR Super 17 account. I've seen a lot of people love Kale, right? Like, Turles, like, had fans. In Super Saiyan 4, Goku has shooters like crazy. Now, he's a little different because, I mean, he's one of the, again, aesthetically, he's one of the sickest cards they've ever released. So I get it. But, I mean, a lot of these shitty 2023 characters have, like, fans. No one gives a fuck about Paikuhan. Paikuhan is completely irrelevant. If not for me talking about how no one cared, like, Tao, no one cared about him. Like, if not for me talking about that so much, no one would care about Tao, too. Get that out of the way. And Baby Gohan and Goten. Now, Baby Gohan and Goten, they are not on this list. People don't care about them, but they're also really good. You can run them on that baby team. They could be really effective. Although they are pretty much just dodge, and there is a lot of anti-dodge right now. But yeah, Paikuhan, I mean, he's just worthless. He's got nothing, dude. There's nothing here. It's just empty. Like, this guy's not even, he's not the worst of all time, but there's just nothing. This is just the void right here. It's sad. This is nothing. Poor Paikuhan, man. I was waiting for this version of Paikuhan, specifically this right here. I was waiting for this for years, and we finally get it, and it's like, I mean, his animation does look good, right? Like, we play this looks good, so it's like, they didn't cheap out on this. I think it looks really quite solid, but, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Boy, he's on, top 10 worst of the year, I think, for sure. Next, Automageta. I didn't want to fill this up with just banner units, but, like, holy fuck. I mean, dude. Alright, hold on. Maybe he's actually the GOAT. All right, so no super attack comes in. Okay, all right, hold on. Maybe he's actually the GOAT. All right, so no super attack comes in. So when attacking, all allies get 20% defense, and Universe 6 allies get 20% attack. Oh, we dodged the super. Oh, my God. It's just that if we run... You're shitting me. What? What? He gets stunned. Even when he touches? All right, next up. This is a truly terrible character. I do feel like I'm almost cheating a little bit with so many banner units, but next we got AGL Videl. Now, to be fair, AGL Videl, though, the thing about her is that she's not one of these, like, complementary banner units like Automageta is or Android 18. We can get rid of this. Or Android 18 is or something like that. I mean, her and Ranfan were their own banner. This is just a criminal design. This Videl, she's just worthless until she revives. But she doesn't revive. In order for her to be able to activate her revive, 4th turn from character's entry turn. Do you guys know what that means? That means it's her 3rd rotation. Unless you float her the first time you see her. So, perfect. In a perfect world, okay? You get her turn 1, you float her. She comes back turn 4, she dies. And then you're able to use her effectiveness on turn fucking 6. Turn 6, she gets all of her stuff. What the fuck? Right? Like, this character is interesting if her revive is unconditional. She could just use it from turn 1. Why is Fatbu so good? Because he could use his revive from second 1. There is no condition on it. Right? That's where they fucked up. Now, it's just... And guess what? Guess what? She has to die as well, right? Because, I mean, you just look at it. Like, let's look at in Future Gohan. Character or an ally is KO'd, right? Boom. It occurred to me at this exact moment we had to bring it up. The title. Yep. So, you know... Oh, this has 500 comments? People weren't agreeing with me? 0 dodge is unheard of. Yeah, because she herself has to die, right? Anyway, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you knew with a title like that she was going to be on this. She sucks. She's trash. Now, unfortunately, we've reached the end of this list, and there's no drama. There's no suspense. Literally anyone who's, like, tapped into this channel... my opinions, Dokkan Twitter, Dokkan Reddit, I feel like you all know exactly who 1 and 2 are. Like, right? Like, do you guys... So, starting from who's eligible. Looks like the first... technically, the first characters of the year... Princess Sync doesn't need to be here, but... it's STR, Kid Buu, and Physical Super Saiyan 3. They're the first characters of 2025, right? So then we go all the way through this. And you guys know exactly which 2 characters are going on here, right? You all know. Don't lie. You all know. All right, so let's grab Blue Kaioken Goku. Now, you could have Blue Kaioken at 1, and I'm not going to argue it too much. Because here's the thing. Blue Kaioken Goku, we're going into year 11. This guy, like, this moment was in, what, 2016? 2016 is when this happened. It definitely was. Let me double check the date on that. All right, guys, here we go. So here's the episode. April of 2016. April 2016. So, I mean, we've been waiting basically 9 years since that moment. I mean, the AGL Blue Kaioken Goku obviously was very good back in the day when he came out, but I mean, very quickly, once Dokkan got, like, you know, the good animations and stuff, you know, people would be really excited. Like, oh, I can't wait to see my favorite moments, you know, utilized in the really good animations, you know, with all the voice acting and the OSTs and all the good stuff going on. And then they drop this guy, and I mean, he's a fumble. And he's not just a fumble because of his kit. Like, of course, his kit, like, he's just kind of like ass, right? This is a character who is slowly killing you every time he supers. And it's not like, oh, you'll lose 5% HP, you know, once per turn, you know, but he's doing, like, all this other stuff. I could live with that. Well, I would rather no character ever do this again, but I could live with it. But this fucker supers 3 and 4 times, man. He's destroying you. Literally. Bro, you want to know what the most use I got out of this guy? I was struggling, because it's just one of those things, like, in future Gohan and Trunks, they're an amazing character, they're great, but, like, okay, like, we got to do the showcase for them, so on command, I need to be able to swap into Trunks, and it's just one of those things where it's like, it'll happen when it happens. It'll happen when it happens. So, I was having a lot of trouble, and then I was like, oh, yes, I know what I could do. Bro. I know exactly what I could do. And then Iron Cane had some difficulties transforming as well. So I showed up to help my boy out, right? Here, let's just get to where he shows the team. Bam, right there. The blue Kaiokens. So, you know, we run the team in, like, an easy event, and then we have the blue Kaiokens slowly kill us so that we could get in Trunks. That's exactly what happened, right? And I shared that with Iron. I said, you could go ahead and knock out a good video, and he did it. And it worked. It worked. So this character, I mean, he's better at killing you than killing the enemy. Oh, and there is one... Guys. Hold on. We're going to let this play. I gotta play his animations here. It's not just a matter of, like, oh, he's not good, you know, blah, 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 because of whatever. I want the thing with all the animations. Yeah, okay, here we go. So we got them all in one video? Okay. Yeah, here we go. Goku's animations, in my opinion, they fucked up. They messed up the, because, like, there's a lot of screaming, and he's just screaming. But, like, it's just him screaming without, like, it being voice acted. And it's like a real feels bad man moment. So here, I'm going to let this go. Let's go ahead and play this. And then y'all will hear.
サイヤ人ブルーの力で海洋圏の上乗せだ。
Yeah, there we go, right? Like, that's it. That's the part I needed to show. That was it. All that screaming, and it's not voice acted. It feels like they fucked it up. Like, they fucked it up. That ruins it. And then number one, I mean, I don't know that I really need to talk about it. What's the golden standard of what a character should look like when they're introduced into the game for the first time, right? Orange Piccolo, the Gammas, TUR Gammas, right? Like, I don't know, something like that. This guy's the gold standard for sucking. He just sucks cock. He's the worst character of the year. And this is like, oh my god, like, people are obsessed with that word canon. And what's canon, what isn't canon. People are obsessed with that. Well, here you go. Canon. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. And they completely, like, mess, like, this guy's just terrible. He's just awful. Like, his design, a lot of we're gonna see this a lot, but when they do the shit where you've got to be, first attacker in the turn, there's a really good chance you're gonna end up not being good, right? Like it's brutal being forced to go into slot 1. That's where the real power of bosses typically is. So, I mean, it just creates characters that just are really bad. So, I don't know, chat. That's it. I mean, Daima Vegeta. So, here, let's zoom out a little bit here. Try and get all 10. Okay, we'll zoom out one more. There we go. Let's take a look at this. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Now that we kind of got it zoomed out looking at it, top 10 worst summonable units of the year. I like it, I do. I think you could, now I'll just get this in here at the end. I did not think that any more of the 10th anniversary LRs deserve to be on here. If you wanted to get more 10th anniversary LRs, the ones who I think we could have a discussion about, believe it or not, are the Dokkan Fest exclusive 10th anniversary fusions. They're the ones who we could talk about. Now, I do think it's more so just a bad decision by Dokkan to, the GDC power creep. But again, what it is going from, all right, you need to be good on turn 10 to now you need to be good turn 1, which killed so many characters at the start of the year. But the 10th anniversary fusions, they're the only anniversary Dokkan Fest in years who have not held up their bargain and been at the top of their game the whole year. They're the only ones since maybe 2020 Blue Fusions, Blue Vegeta, Blue Gogeta. All the anniversary characters since then have, at least one of them has still been top 5 going into the next anniversary pretty much every year. So it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So because of that, I think you could get the 10, these lists are very, very subjective, obviously. I think you can get the 10th anniversary fusions on here pretty easily. I do think so. For me, I was trying to, certainly I would give extra credit, as I said, to, Dokkan Fest exclusives and LRs and anniversary LRs and stuff. But, this is about, I think, where we'll get with it. So, let me know what you guys think. Top 10 worst summonable characters. We'll do a top 10 best summonable characters. I already know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I think that one's going to be probably more controversial than this one, actually. So, all right, Angels. Love y'all. Mwah. I'll catch y'all next time.